won't you give me something, something to hold on to? This old world has taken me for a ride.
All right, welcome back for another one. That last video I did was the bone-in pork loin roast you get from Costco. When I was up there buying those, they had the boneless ones in like these giant 12-pound logs. So what I ended up doing was buying one of those. They ended up being like $1.25 a pound, so it's really hard to beat that price. Ended up buying a giant one, cut into three, about 4-pound sections. This one's like a little bit smaller than the other two, but really good way to feed a whole bunch of people for a really low price. So what I'm gonna do today with this one is I'm gonna stuff it like I did the last one, but I'm gonna stuff it with something completely different. This one is gonna be butterflied, and it's gonna be stuffed with basically what you'd put inside of a jalapeno popper. I got the cheese. I'm gonna get, this has been sitting out all morning, so I'm gonna get it nice and soft. Put this cheddar cheese in it. I'm gonna cook the bacon in the oven, and I'm gonna put these jalapenos in there and the bacon grease with it too. Kind of cook them down, get them a little bit softer. Put all that in a bowl, mix it all together, and then put it inside this. Then I'm gonna tie it up, and I'm gonna throw it on the smoker for probably 2 hours, about 250, 275. That last one I did it on the Masterbuilt, and it turned out pretty good. But this one here today, I'm gonna go ahead and break out the big smoker. I just really like cooking on it. It just makes things really, really taste good. So gonna smoke about 250, 275 like I normally do, and I'm gonna make sure that I use nothing but cherry wood on this one. This piece of meat right here has actually been brining overnight in just straight, I think it was called something like Honey Crisp apple juice. If you want to get something specific, that's what I used this time. That last time I thought I grabbed apple juice, and I ended up grabbing freaking, it was like a white grape and peach juice, but it turned out pretty good. But anyway, I'm gonna do a slightly different butterfly method today that I learned online. The one I did before just had 2 cuts in it. This has got, you cut it in half, fillet it open, and then you fillet each one of those open, and then you get a huge flat piece of meat, and you could spread all your stuff out the whole way, and then you roll it up nice and tight, and then tie it up with your butcher twine. This butcher twine I got off of Amazon for like $6 for, I think it was like 500 feet, so pretty good deal there. So I'm gonna show you how I butterfly this up, and we'll go from there. All right, so sharp knife helps. This is not the best knife. I'm kind of hoping to get one for Christmas. This is Christmas Eve today. But your first cut should be directly down the middle, and then up to about a ½ inch of the edge over here. This one actually has a little line on it that I can see. So I'm just gonna kind of follow that along, peel it back as I go. Try to keep it really consistent the whole way. There we go. So that's pretty good so far. Just want to get it to about a ½ inch of the edge. 1, so it'll lay down, and then 2, you'll have plenty of room. There we go. So it's pretty good. So now it's pretty flat, but you can get it even flatter. What I'm gonna do now is take my knife, run it inside here about halfway down, and I'll kind of follow that same line to there. And there's actually a seam here, which is kind of cool, but then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna follow it and keep it about a ½ inch thick the whole way. Peel it back. You guys see that pretty good, hopefully. The sun's kind of weird right now. I don't normally cook at 9:45 in the morning, but we have family stuff early today. So I gotta get the smoker going and get this on. I also gotta cook chili for tonight too, so it's pretty crazy. I'm not smoking the chili though. I'm not sure that really makes that big a difference. It's just fun to cook shit outside. All right, so I'm following this line. About right there, cool. Don't want to cut it off. Ooh, that's pretty close. So that side there is good. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over. Maybe you can see this a little bit better. There we go. So this line here now, it's gonna give me a nice, this is gonna give me really long. So make that cut, and I'm gonna peel it back. Perfect. If you guys ever hunt or butcher your own meat, this would be pretty easy for you to do. And then you can just peel that back and kind of follow that line. Very cool. Never done it this way, but I think it's actually a little bit more labor intensive, but I think you're gonna get a really good product out of this. Next step is gonna be taking this. I'm gonna put some plastic over the top of it. I'm just gonna tap it down with a, I don't have a meat mallet, but I've got a, I got a mallet that I use when I'm welding and stuff, so it'll work, 1 pound hammer. So that's nice, and I'm gonna get it pretty flat, and I'm gonna get everything cooked up, spread the whole entire deal, and I'm gonna roll it up nice and tight. Next step is to get this bacon and these jalapenos in the oven. I'm gonna do about 400 degrees until the bacon looks really crispy. I'm gonna put a little bit of my seasoning on it. This is one that I make. It's got a little heat to it. Put a little bit on the bacon too. I think 7 pieces will be enough to put inside there with all the cheese and everything. What I might end up doing also, I might put some bacon on the outside of this thing. I'm kind of uncertain yet. I trimmed it more than that bone-in roast, just because I think rolling it up the way I'm going to be doing, I don't know if that fat cap's going to be that good if it ends up being inside in the middle. So what I'm going to do is probably trim that fat cap just a little bit more, and then I might wrap some bacon around it. I've got, I don't know, 9 pieces left, so we'll see. Not sure yet. Ended up finding a little meat hammer to beat my meat. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. Let's give it a little left tap. Don't want to beat it too hard, you know what I'm saying? I'm not using the knobby side, I'm just using the flat side. About a 1/2 inch thick when it's done. That's pretty good. All right, about ready to stuff now. All right, it is unseasonably warm right now. It's crazy. It's like 68 degrees already. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. But I bought this torch a long time ago to use when it comes to getting my smoker ready to put linseed oil on it, but decided against that and decided to just get it really clean and do a clear coat on it. So I've got this now for basically melting snow or starting a fire. So I'm gonna start my fire with it today. So no charcoal, just 4 logs in there. I'm gonna get it rocking.
Although this was fun, it was not the most efficient way to get the fire started. I will always use a chimenea full of charcoal moving forward.
All right, here we go for the stuffing. This is gonna be really simple. So 1 small block cream cheese. I'm gonna add in my favorite rub, which just happens to be the one I make. Just a little bit in there everywhere. Take your bacon, get it crispy enough in the oven, and it'll be nice and it'll break up really good for you. This was 7 pieces. Obviously, you can put as many in as you want. That's just what I preferred. And now, I'm just gonna slice these jalapenos up into slices. I'm not even taking the seeds out. They're not gonna be that hot. And if they are, hopefully they're spread out enough, and hopefully that cream cheese will block a little bit of it. Hi, buddy. And the last part is just a 2-cup bag of sharp, I did extra sharp cheddar. I don't think it really matters. And then get you a fork out and whisk it all up. Right, I did end up trimming quite a bit of this off. It wasn't just fat, there was actually some pretty thick silver skin on there, so I went ahead and got rid of that. I'm gonna flip it over. That way that fat side, if it does roll, when I roll it, it'll be up. So the smoke can get through to it and the heat can kind of break it down a little bit. So here this is. When you get done with your cream cheese mixture, it should be really thick, just like that, almost like a paste. Just glob it in here. I'm gonna try to get it nice and thin all over the whole thing. Try to get these jalapenos spaced out too, so you don't give somebody a zinger. So I'm gonna get this spread out and I'll show you what it looks like right before I end up rolling it up. All right, so here's what it looks like once it's all laid out and spread in there. What I ended up doing was putting some of my barbecue rub on the inside this with it again, and then I'm gonna roll it up. And after it's rolled up, I'm gonna tie it off, and I'm just gonna put an SPG rub that I came up with off of watching some. I didn't come up with it. I tried some different ratios and different things, and didn't really like what I was doing. And that Chud's Barbecue had a really good ratio of salt, of pepper, salt, and then granulated garlic. Did that, and it turned out really good. So I'm gonna get this thing rolled up. I'm gonna tie it off. So you want to keep your roll nice and tight. Come right over the top. Don't squeeze down too hard though, because you don't want your cheese squirting everywhere. I think I bought this at a restaurant. Sorry, you can't see that, can you? So roll it up nice and smoothly. Make sure this end here is tucked in tight. Anything you see coming out, you can always just scoop it with your finger and put it inside. Just like that. Oh, that's gonna be freaking great. Kind of shape it up with your hand if you want to. Yeah. Something I learned too, I'm gonna go ahead and tie it off right now when my hands are already dirty. Something I learned also on the last one that I did is start in the middle. When you're tying it, start in the middle, because I started on the ends and pulled it tight, and then I couldn't get, when I pulled it tight in the middle, it kind of loosened them up. So I'm gonna go right here in the middle on my first one. Get it snug where you see the meat pull in like that. Loop it through. Works better if you have somebody else to hold it down for you, but this ought to work. Don't worry about these tag ends, because you can snip those off here in a minute. Just pull it under. I'm only going to put a few in this one. That last one I did with the bones in it, I ended up doing between every single bone, and that was probably necessary. This is not necessary to do that many. This time of day, there's just no good light. So anyway, I'm gonna go and get this last part done here. A little bit of SPG on the outside. Doesn't take a whole lot, just a light dusting I wanna do. Something I just learned also when it comes to starting a fire, I think a charcoal bed is way better than just putting your wood in with a big ass giant torch. The giant torch is more fun, but I think it's better to have that coal bed, because I've had to mess around with it a few times now just to make sure it's gonna be stay going, and it's more a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. So if you tried that and you like it, good on you. If you don't like it or have never tried it, maybe I'll save you the trouble of messing with it. I think it's just a lot easier to just get a coal bed going and a chimenea, and then just call it good from there. Anyway, this is when you're using the salt, pepper, and garlic. Since there is so much more pepper in this mix, it's 2 to 1, and then on the pepper to salt. And then the salt is basically 2 to 1 with the granulated garlic. You're gonna wanna make sure that you shake this up, otherwise you're gonna have a bunch of salt and garlic, and the pepper will go to the bottom of your shaker, and it's not gonna be as good. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rest of this on this cutting board here, and then hopefully my fire's going now where I want it to be, and I can get this thing rocking, because we gotta be leaving here pretty soon. Daughter's over here shooting a little cleanup video is what she's doing. Say hi. That's right. Oh my gosh, girls rule the world. Oh, you live with 3 of them, they do. Here we go. Hope y'all like my shades I'm rocking for this one. It is super bright out. These are the best money can buy right here. Maybe came with a little kit at the store for a kid's little pool kit. I don't know. Anyway, as you can see, that thing looks freaking awesome. I can't wait to get it on. So I'm gonna run the meter. I'm gonna run it to 135 like that last one I did. And we're gonna hope for the best. Here we go. Rocking right at 250 right now. Oh, I put some little water in my water pan too. Put it right there underneath that thermometer. I'm gonna call it good. All right, hopefully this is gonna recover good. My fire's been a little funky. It's got a weird south wind. Kind of southwest, I guess. That's not weird, it's normal. But the wind's blowing right into the freaking firebox. It's making things swirl around a little bit, so it's got to keep messing with that, watching it. But it was rocking pretty steady at 250, so that's where I really like to cook on most things. So hopefully this pork loin comes out pretty freaking good. The fat cap, there's not much to it, but if there is a little bit, and I'm not liking exactly how it looks, today I will put it under the broiler and bring that up. The part I'm lost on right now, though, is if I'm gonna sauce it or not. I might do a little light glaze with that pellet envy. I think it's just called Eat Barbecue, the sweeter sauce, because everything else is so spicy. That might really bring it all together at the end. Have a little bit of spice, a little bit of the creaminess from the cheeses, and then hit it with that sweet sauce. It might be really, really good. So we'll see how it turns out. Right back to 250. Recovery on this thing is so freaking fast, it's crazy too. If you want one, hit me up. I'll probably build one for you a hell of a lot cheaper than, you know, most of those people can, because, you know, I'm just doing my thing at home, having fun. So anyway, here we go. Take a quick peek at this fire I got going. Ended up starting with 4 logs, and then I ended up putting a little bit of charcoal on the bottom, but as you can see, it's coming out nice and clean. Logs are burning nice and good. I got the cherry on bottom, and I actually put pecan in there. It's just what my default is. But anyway, I was gonna do all cherry today, but I don't think it'll matter that much. It's still a pretty good smoke. It's my favorite two mixed together. So I'm gonna get this closed back up and keep it going at 250. All right, 45 minutes in, take a quick peek. See what we're dealing with here. The meter says we're sitting at about 80 internal. Might hit that little brown spot around those edges right there, but it looks pretty awesome. Probably got, I think it says about another 45 minutes left, or hour or so. Barely dripping, so that's good. Most of the stuff's gonna stay inside, hopefully. Here we go. All right, we're sitting at about 120, 122 on the meter probe. And got a little spike in my temp right now to kind of get things tightened up. It's almost done. I'm cooking it to about 135, 140. Gonna put some of this sweet sauce on it. Eat Barbecue, next big thing. It's pellet envy, guy here in Kansas City. Figure with all the spice on this and inside of it, a little sweet sauce would do it some good. So I'm gonna put some sauce on here and just baste it on. All right, I think it's time to pull it off here. We got to get it going to the family function anyway. So it's about 135, and I plan on letting it rest for about 15 minutes, covered in foil and a couple of towels. So it might even carry over to like that 135, 140 range, which is right where you want a pork loin. Take a quick peek at it before I pull it off here. I don't have my table out here today, so it's kind of hard to get everything in order. But it just looks freaking awesome. So I'm looking forward to cutting into it for you. Let me see how it looks. So get you a little bit closer here. I don't have a cameraman, so you know, that's how we do. There it is, though. Looks pretty good all the way around. Cheese is oozing. No, I did lose some on the bottom there. That's okay, though. There's plenty of cream. I mean, a whole block of cream cheese in there, a whole 2 cups of cheddar cheese, and then the jalapeno, so, and some seasoning. It's going to be freaking awesome. Here we go. All right, here we are. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Been resting for about 20 minutes. I took a shower. We had family to go see real quick, so ooh, baby, this thing looks freaking awesome. When I pulled it, the meter probe was reading right at 134, so it's probably carried over to that medium range really well. I think I'm gonna go ahead and guess cut. Oh shit, no, I forgot. I need scissors. Here we go. Almost forgot I tied it. So you can see my marks right there where I tied it. That one. You can always tell it's that time to go when my littlest one is. There we go. All right. I gotta get him out of there. Here we go. I bet she did. She's the best. All right, that's off. Ooh, we can peel the crust on there. Go ahead and do a slice on the end here. I'm gonna try to cut them about that thick when I serve them today. Oh baby, look at that. That's pretty cool. That's a good layer. I think butterflying it the way I did is super important. That's everything gets spread out evenly. I better cut that bite off right there. It's got a jalapeno in it. Make sure I'm not gonna kill anybody. All right. That's awesome. That's better than the one I did with the apples and the Gouda, or the goat cheese. Oh man, that's gonna be great. This is a super easy, super cheap thing you can do if you want to serve to family, friends. Highly recommend it. You saw everything I put in there. It takes 15 minutes to get it all prepped and ready, and then you just gotta watch it when it's on the smoker. So hope you can give this one a try. If you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, share with your boys. Appreciate it.